Mongolia is a country with a lot of interesting things. In the past, this land was ruled by various nomadic tribes. In the 13th century, this empire was known to the world through Genghis Khan's wars of conquest throughout Asia and Europe. Many people only know that Mongolia is home to skilled warriors. But it is also very advanced, and has many interesting cultural features. Especially the mysterious things about an animal, seemingly only in fiction movies. Mysterious stories about the Mongolian deathworm, a worm known to nomads as the Algoi Korkoi, or blood-filled gutworm, have circulated in Mongolia for thousands of years. The worm has been described as similar in appearance to the digestive tract of a cow, about 0.6 to 1.5 meters, about 4 feet, long. The body is round, with bright red color and black spots or patches on the body, on the head and tail with spikes. The legend of the killer worm. Gobi Desert in Asia with rocks and sand lying dormant in the wind and rain. This is a large area of about 1.3 million square kilometers, 8 million miles, and is considered one of the largest deserts in the world. Different from normal deserts, in Gobi there is not only sand, but also mountains and huge rocks. It is thought to have been part of a lake, or sea, that went inland from 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. But after a great flood, the water was washed away to the south, to the west, leading to the current situation. This arid land is most notable in history as part of the Great Mongol Empire, and is the location of several important cities, along the Silk Road. Gobi has a long history of being inhabited by humans, mainly nomadic peoples. It is mainly inhabited by the Mongols. In addition to the harshness of nature, the endurance and majesty of humans, this place also circulates a legend about a magical worm capable of killing people. The half-false and half-true stories about this worm make many people shudder. The creature first came to Western attention as a result of Roy Chapman Andrews's 1926 book On the Trail of Ancient Man. The American paleontologist described second-hand tales of the monster that he heard at a gathering of Mongolian officials. None of those present ever had seen the creature, but they all firmly believed in its existence and described it minutely. Many people have set out to find the truth about a mysterious legend that has never been answered. They believe the creature may exist somewhere in the harsh lands along the border between China and Mongolia. Legend has it that the Mongolian deathworm was shaped like a cow's digestive tract, about 0.6 to 1.5 meters long, about 4 feet, round body, the color scarlet, and dark spots or patches on the body. They have spines on their heads and tails. It is believed that deathworms love the color yellow, and plants that live in the desert, such as the saxaul tree. The nomads call this worm the Algoi Korkoi, or blood-filled gutworm, because it is a giant worm capable of killing people. The Mongols still tell each other the story of the death of a boy in the area. One day, the boy was alone at home. While he was playing outside with a yellow box, a worm secretly got inside. Unbeknownst to him, the boy reached out and touched the box. Immediately the boy fell dead. When the poor boy's parents came home from work, they searched everywhere but could not understand what caused their child to die. A family member discovered that there were huge zigzag tracks in the sand. And the boy's whole family found out the truth. The worm of death has arrived. It has killed the boy with its mysterious poison. Following the zigzag tracks in the sand, the boy's parents are determined to find the worm for revenge. Since that departure, they have never returned to where they lived. It is rumored that, instead of killing the worm, the boy's parents were killed by the worm itself. Local people also say that the deathworm has an extremely strange and scary shape. It was like a sausage, as fat as a man's arm, like the intestines of some cattle. It is impossible to determine which is the head and which is the tail. Because it is impossible to distinguish the parts of the worm, eyes, nose or mouth. The deathworm moves very strangely, either curling up and rolling away, or crawling on one side of the body. It lives in the desolate sand dunes and hot valleys of the Gobi Desert, under which the saxaul tree grows. The strange thing is that all the Mongols have never encountered this strange creature directly. However, the story of the giant deathworm, and its shape, was told meticulously and in detail one by one. They firmly believe that such a worm exists here, and also believe that it has the shape they describe. According to local people, this worm only appears at one time of the year. That's when the Gobi Desert is at its hottest, in June and July. After that time, the deathworm will bury itself in the sand, most of the rest of the year. and it will never be seen again. However, it will crawl to the surface after rain, or when the soil is wet. And it sleeps during the dry season in the sand. According to a legend that has been passed down by the people of the Gobi Desert for thousands of years, this worm has a mysterious ability. Such as it can spray yellow acid poison, causing instant death on contact, or can destroy prey from a distance with a super strong electric current. Those who believe in the deathworm believe that contact with any point on its body is extremely dangerous. Its venom can corrode metal, and can kill a strong camel in the blink of an eye. One day in June or July, the people living in the Gobi Desert woke up. They were amazed to see that the family's large and strong camel had died, without any trace of disease, or had been shot dead. In the sand zigzag tracks told them that the creature of death had arrived. The name of the deathworm has always been a terror to all people living here, for thousands of years. They were always afraid that it might appear at any time, and leave at any time, leaving a dead body. The journey to find the worms of death. This wild and sandy land has been explored by Europeans since the 17th century. The Mongolian deathworm was first noticed by Westerners in a book published in 1926, titled As on the Trail of Ancient Man by Roy Chapman Andrews, an American professor. Scientists began to pay attention to information that was half true and half false. However, the secrets of the deathworm are still a big question mark for many scientists. In August 2009, 2 New Zealanders brought cameras to the furthest part of the Gobi Desert, to find evidence of the existence of a monster that no one had ever caught or photographed. In addition to word-of-mouth stories and creepy drawings, or fantasy movies. 2 scientists have installed special tracking devices, allowing to record the slightest change in the sand, when a large animal moves in the sand, to find traces of the legendary monster. However, the deathworm, shaped like the description of local people for thousands of years, still did not appear. The story of this worm continues to be handed down. During Soviet times, Soviet scientists also organized a search in the Gobi Desert, and brought back many mystical stories. Then, in May 2005, scientists and explorers affiliated with 3 organizations, 14 Zoo Center, Mysterious World, and Mongol spent a month studying the reports and continue to search for traces of the deathworm. Team leader Richard Freeman has his opinion as follows. I think this is not a worm. True worms need moisture. Perhaps it was some kind of legless, underground reptile. It may have been a giant member of a group of reptiles known as worm lizards, or 2-headed snakes. In fact, there is already a group of these animals, but they have received very little research interest. He also thinks that people have exaggerated the power of the deathworm. It resembles the fire dragon, the salamander of the Middle Ages, but extremely poisonous. Alexander the Great once lost hundreds of warriors, after they drank from a stream where an iguana lay. The existence of deathworms is still a controversial topic, to which scientists have not been able to find an answer to this day. However, in terms of science, researchers say, the Mongolian deathworm may be a creature with the dual characteristics of an electric eel and a cobra that spits out venom without biting. This snake spits venom extremely accurately at a distance of over 3 meters. When it wants to spray, it will inflate its gills, spit out toxins from the venom glands under the teeth, accurately launching into the opponent's eyes. In fact, there are many such hybrid animals. Like a platypus, for example. It is possible that such a special insect appeared in the harsh desert, and became a fear for thousands of years for the people here. The secret of the deathworm may be discovered in the near future. But the fear of the people about an invisible obsession in their harsh life, is still there. The video ends here. Leave your thoughts on this legendary creature. Hello and see you in the next videos.